appreciate my staff and our partners, both Conifer and Penrose and Metro Company for being with us this morning. Normally what happens, and if anyone knows about the Long Branch Housing Authority over the last 10 years, we have been faced with some challenging opportunities and some challenging times. Several years ago, HUD decided that housing authorities needed to act in a different way and model themselves after the private industry. So we went into what they call asset management. In doing that, 10 years ago, the Long Branch Housing Authority decided to embark on a bold journey to revitalize the entire Long Branch community, at least the portion that we could deal with. That would be our housing units and our Section 8 voucher program. In doing so, at the same time, many of you are aware that we had an issue with a contaminated site. And that's actually what sparked our idea and our concept to develop or redevelop many of our complexes. In doing so, we utilized funding from a sale of 1.26 acres and leveraged it into our Hope 6, which was the first redevelopment project for the Long Branch Housing Authority since 1970. We started that right around 2005 by filing an application for Hope 6. This spring and summer, we're going to finalize and complete our Hope 6 application by building 8 homeownership units right here on this particular site right behind me, in the open area right here. That's going to be in partnership with Penrose. But in closing out our Hope 6, you never ever want to leave it at that, at least not this housing authority. We're very aggressive and creative in what we do. And what we believe we're able to do now is continue to build affordable housing and improve the quality of life for our residents. And that's our main focus and our main goal. In doing so, the Long Branch Housing Authority identified 2 locations in which we thought it was feasible to continue our movement. One being Woodrow Wilson Homes, and I say this, I offer these 2 projects in no particular order. I had to flip a coin, two sides. No group is better than the other. They're both equal, and we love their support. What we did was we identified Woodrow Wilson as being our next location to redevelop family housing. It met the requirements because it's a physically distressed location with flood mitigation that was needed. So at the Woodrow Wilson home site, we completed an application and developed a revitalization plan that would transform Woodrow Wilson from 136 units to 150 units of family housing. At the same time, the Long Branch Housing Authority utilized funding that it had received from that initial land sale with CV Manor. We leveraged that acquisition, into an acquisition of the Gregory School site. Many of you know that the Gregory School was sold to the city of Long Branch, or purchased by the city of Long Branch from the Board of Education, and the Long Branch Housing Authority felt as though it was a vital piece of property that would enhance not only the overall interests of the Long Branch Housing Authority, but that particular community also. In doing so, we identified another developer, Conifer Realty and Metro. Both those entities helped us develop a revitalization plan for the Gregory School, in which we will turn that particular complex, that building, into 117 units of senior housing. So, in the end, what we hope to accomplish is that we started off, when I began here in 2002, we had 643 units of public housing. At the end of all of our redevelopment plans, at least as they stand right now, we will have built 730 units of family housing in our portfolio. Along with that, our Section 8 voucher numbers increase from 729 to 853 vouchers in which the Housing Authority will administer on behalf of HUD. In doing so, what we believe is that we've built and created a strong partnership between Penrose Properties and also Conifer and Metro to work together with not only the city of Long Branch, but also our residents to improve their lives for years to come. At the end of the day, what we will have is none of our family sites will be any less than 10 years old. And then again, we will have built an additional 117 units of senior housing here in Long Branch. And it doesn't stop there. In the same manner that we began our process in developing housing for CV Manor, we will do the same in developing not only the Woodrow Wilson project, but also the Gregory School project. In doing that, we need to have funding. And that's the main reason for the press conference. The press conference is to acknowledge and advise everyone, and so this is something that Long Branch never does, but we don't sell our story to anyone. And we thought this would be a good opportunity to do so. On Tuesday of last week, the 22nd, I received a call from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs in reference to 2 funding applications that we had put in to the New Jersey Department of Housing, Mortgage, and Finance Agency, 2 tax credit applications. And as you've been following us over the years, we've always used tax credit programs to help leverage funding to complete our projects. Well, we not only received one, but we received both applications. Both applications were actually funded by HMFA, which for me, I believe is unprecedented because it's the first time I believe that a housing authority in of itself was funded on 2 projects in the same funding round by HMFA. And I give all credit to not only I give credit not only to the members of the development team on both sides, both Penrose, Jacob Fisher and Tim Hinkle, and also on the other side, Conifer, Stuart Courtney, and Charles Lewis from Conifer. I believe that the partnerships that we've created are long-standing and will go to sustaining exactly what we've embarked on. Those funding sources will amount to almost $30 million, at least for this first phase, in tax credit funding for us to get started and move as quickly as possible. As you're aware, we always attempt to be on time and on budget, so it's our hope that we will be able to complete these projects within the next 24 to 18 months, and this being only the first phases of each, respectively. Again, I think it is a great feat for the Housing Authority to have accomplished this. We're not going to stop there. We're going to keep moving forward and put other projects on the board. If we were given the opportunity, Councilwoman, to possibly move outside the city of Long Branch onto a site that might have 25 acres of 25 acres, hinting at something.
And I suggested that you go see the congressman.
Okay, we might be able to do something great with opportunity like that. I think the Long Branch Housing Authority in of itself, through the support of the Board of Commissioners, Carl Jennings, our chair, we've done a great job in solidifying exactly what our core mission is, to provide quality housing for our residents, and at the same time to improve their lives and offer affordable housing to the whole entire state of New Jersey. One component that I did not mention was that in doing all this, the Housing Authority created a subsidiary, Maestro Community Development Corporation, which is a co-developer in both of these 2 new projects. That's something that the Housing Authority felt the need to do, so that at one point in time, if we ever had the capacity, we could go out on our own and do some small development projects, having built up our own, our name. I think that's something that's most important for us. That's something that we're going to continue to do because our reputation as an agency is very, very important to city officials and also to my staff. So I would ask Councilwoman Sully if she has anything she'd like to add or make any comments before I introduce our two partners.
I'm delighted to hear that you received both applications, approval of that. I think that's marvelous. And I made a comment to Danny. I went through the whole project this morning just to take a look at it. It's been a while since I've been here, and it looks fantastic, just like it was the day when we cut the ribbon. And I think that's a credit to you and your staff and to the residents. But I look forward to everything that you plan to do in the future. And as I said, I recommend you go see Congressman Frank Malone, but you might also corral Mayor Mike Mahan, since the property, I think, is an ocean port that you're interested in.
It sounds good. And we appreciate all the support from Mayor Snyder and the members of the City Council and also the Planning Board, because they've made this entire process so smooth for us on both sides of the street in order to get things done. Which side wants to go first? You guys want to? Okay, we'll have Charlie Lewis from Conifer. He'll just give a few comments for everyone.
Thank you. I'm Charlie Lewis. I'm Vice President of Conifer, and my partner is Stu Courtney with the Metro Company. Really delighted to work with the Long Branch Housing Authority. I was just talking to Jacob actually on the way in. I think that the Long Branch Housing Authority might be one of the most active developers of affordable housing in the state. It seems like every time they open up the announcements, you're getting an award or funding for something, another development. But it was a really great opportunity to work with the Gregory School. It's an historic building. The original plans called for the demolition of the school, and we went through the school. It's structurally sound, it's beautiful, it's got a lot of history, not only in the sense of, it's a classic building, it's one of the few remaining of its type, but it's also an important part of the history of people who grew up in Long Branch. It's been around for years, and it really seemed a shame to knock it down, and we had the ability, through combining a number of affordable housing sources, to redevelop the building and to make it something useful again. So I think that's probably the most exciting aspect for me, the fact that we get this historic building and we're able to make it something living again and an important part of the community all the time.
I'm just going to add very quickly that I'm Stuart Courtney. As Charlie mentioned, we're absolutely delighted to work with Long Branch Housing Authority. We work with quite a few housing authorities in the state, and I have to tell you, this is probably one of the most progressive housing authorities that we've worked with. Really terrific. Tyrone and his staff have absolutely been wonderful partners, and we look forward to continuing that relationship on a long-term basis. Charlie mentioned that this is a school conversion, the old Gregory School. I think that the exciting part about it is the combination of historic rehabilitation and new construction for seniors. And the other piece of this is when we're talking about all the funding that's brought to the table, this is going to result in a $16 million redevelopment of the Gregory School. And we think that numbers also mean something, because that's a significant amount of money that the Housing Authority has been able to bring into the community from outside investments. And that's another exciting piece.
Before we move on to Penrose, Stu brought up one piece that I forgot to mention. Also, this is going to entail the opportunity for employment. On both projects, we have